then, so it's your senior year final semester. You can take the test when you have BSW. If you pass the test, then you get an LSW. MSW is only 1 year. That still blows my mind because I took 3 years of my life to fucking complete mine from 01 to 04.
I'm gonna do it, and just because I can't, I'm gonna be working at least part time, and I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna see. I mean, well, who cares? For 11 months, I'll be pretty packed full of stuff, but I'll make it work.
Yeah, it will be
it's not
full
that
time
much
again.
Huh?
Like if you do it in Kentucky, they let you do as few as 30 hours for your MSW.
A semester or no, altogether?
Altogether in that 11 months. So it's like 6, 12, and 12.
So I could like get a place down close to there for a year, do a year at least down there, and go.
Yeah,
And then
I love Kentucky. That
Okay,
yeah,
I would want to drive there.
UC is similar. I do believe. God, did I look it up on Miami for you guys because they are also affordable. OSU is 41 hours. They're all a year, so it just depends on. My brothers are now texting. Interesting. So MSW Miami credit hours. I think they might be as low as 36. Let's see here. OSU is 41. So there's OSU. So I remember seeing that. I was like, God, OSU is a lot more than. Now they're showing the freaking undergrad right now, but is I right? That's why. Damn it. I didn't specify. Let's see here. Hello. Did you go to that party again?
No party.
I'm just kidding. No judgment here.
No, I don't feel no judgment. I'm tired. Like I told you, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
I can't do this. People gonna make allegations on me. I already want to try it.
Yes. I am.
You got a haircut?
I did. I usually try to wait until like before the semester, sometimes fall break, and then every 2 months.
Every 2 months?
One time I went 4 years with no haircut.
I love how you can do that. But I can't.
4 years?
I can't go 4 years. I can't.
Well, your hair, you'd have to do something different to your hair. I mean,
Yours would be
hard
legit.
to manage after 4 years.
Like-
it would just look like a nightmare, right? If you didn't do
No,
anything
it
to
wouldn't look like a nightmare. I
That's-
look like a homeless person.
That's
Yeah,
halfway
you
to the
dreaded
4
it.
years.
Yeah, you'd have to
Oh,
dread it.
no, I can never dread it. I don't think
That'd be
my
the only way to manage
Oh my
it.
gosh, yeah.
That's halfway there, and then I had it when I hit my belt line, which was like really, really, really.
Oh, super hip, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I have pictures of those.
I gotta get my haircut every 2 weeks.
Okay, mine's I do every 2 months because I'm cheap. How much does it cost you guys to get a haircut?
It cost me $25.
Where at here? Does somebody cut it here?
No.
Do we still have a barber?
No, we don't. We
Oh, that's my
candid
dog.
barbers,
Yeah.
but not like barbers like we should. That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice if we had barbers on campus.
Because isn't there a barber pole on one of the dorms?
It used to be at Hunters, but they took that down.
Oh, is it gone now?
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
did
so
see
was that
that
a
too.
student that was just doing stuff for people, or was it a barber?
No, it was actual barbers that would come in.
Oh, but he probably didn't make enough money or something.
Maybe the school also taxing.
Oh shit!
I
I
like
hope
he was
not.
offering a service to the kids.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
who cares, man?
Central doesn't really give us.
Well, also beyond to put it back to a business, it's not just Central. There's a reason why all businesses take at least a cut because they're maintaining a property and they're maintaining all kinds of stuff that bring a focal point of people to come here. So basically, if the school wasn't here, we wouldn't have customers, right?
Yeah.
So there's a reason why they're like, no, man, you got to give
I
me at least
understand what they cut
10%.
business wise.
They should give 10%'s not bad though.
But
They
I
should
don't
say
know
10%.
what the percentage was. The percentage, but no exception, they do be waxing.
Yeah,
And they will take your money.
I know.
So they're like, look, we get a 60-40.
Well, no, you think it'd be reasonable because if in that situation, if he's paying rent for a place, 10%, any percentage would be better than none if he's making money.
And then you
Like,
think about the college
cares?
students, he'll probably give a college student a cheaper deal. If they're like, usually a haircut $30, $40. Now he might be cutting it down to 20 to 15.
Especially with similar haircuts. Like if he got to do one of the same ones over and over again, it was easy for him. Like, hey man, if you want this haircut, I give it to you guys for $10. Just
Because the other day we're all broke. We're a college student.
Yeah. Well, they might have cut each other's hair, right? Don't people cut each other's hair?
Now we do have some barbers on campus that are like campus barbers who are students and they cut hair, but sometimes you can't even trust them because they might push your hairline all the way back. They're not getting none of that.
Yeah. They like take off the front forehead, like, and then it comes back. So you guys qualify for the test your last semester here to take an LSW test because we're accredited by Council on Social Work Ed. So you complete your degree, you sign up for the test, you pay them $80. So I just paid mine to renew. You might need to give your driver's license and a copy of your degree and a letter of good standing. I've had to send those for lots of students. With anticipated graduation date or so senior year, January, you can take the test if you want to, or when you graduate, is up to you. Pass the ASWB exam, familiarize yourself, complete the background checks, and then it looks like Ohio takes money to sponsor these people. Syracuse University, Howard University, Simmons, and Hawaii Pacific, and Denver to get an MSW. Oh, they even give average pay. I was just about to get into that next. So they give you some average pay. Child and family social workers are most $11,000 in Ohio. The median pay is $47,000 a year. Healthcare social workers make more. Are we considered post-secondary? I guess it's college.
Wait, say it again?
So if you became a teacher, they are saying that is the way to make the most money, but I don't know if that's
That's interesting because I wanted to get a minor in education.
okay.
Who do I go to?
I don't know. I was saying probably ed department, but we don't offer a minor in ours because you can't do anything with it.
What?
Social work, you can't do anything with a minor in social work.
No, you can't do that.
So we don't offer it. What does the minor in ed help with? Like you still could teach without a license?
Teacher's assistant, maybe. I don't think you can actually
Possibly.
teach. I think
Okay.
assistant, you could be a teacher's assistant, like there's actual positions that say, like if I remember correctly, that says
Okay.
something about minor, like having at least a minor.
How much do they pay for
Associates.
your summer stuff?
Wait, is a minor the same as an associate's?
No.
kind of in a
Sometimes a
sense.
minor's only 12 hours. An associate's
I see.
should be.
Should be like a 2-year degree.
Yeah, it's like 60 hours, but maybe it is only 12 hours in the education field or the psychology field. So maybe.
So technically, if I would have did half, I would have had my major in social work and my associates in psychology, if I would have did 60.
Yeah,
It
were
would
you
take
still
60
doing that up till last year?
No, that would have been double major.
You were a double.
That's still
or a-
associates though, right?
Yeah, were you a minor ever, or was it?
I didn't see any use in minoring in it.
It's true.
It didn't make any sense.
We
to us.
can't
I
say
do
that
whatever the hell I
without-
want now.
Without pissing off psychology, we can't say that. But it's
Oh,
true.
that makes sense. I mean, I weighed it out and was like, okay, so the major in social work, I need that literally
Yeah.
in order to keep going in this direction. But
Yeah,
minoring in anything else seemed pointless. It was like, I'm not going to use it.
it is kind of
Like
pointless.
literally, I was like, what's the point of minoring? So I can say I minored in something. So I've been picking whatever's fun, man.
She beat you here, dude.
She did.
But
She beat you right at the button of the bell.
I give her that.
But she just had to use the restroom. You know, it's all right. You're allowed to use the restroom here anytime you
It's
want.
okay. Every time you guys come into class, and especially on time, your integrity increases permanently.
It does.
Remember that. I was just talking about this with somebody. It's not a social construct. It's not something that other people see and or that is just something you do because it's nice. There's a little thing inside you. The best way to describe it is called your character and integrity. And the more that you're punctual, the more you're on time, the more that you're reliable to people, the better of a person you become, and it generalizes into the smallest things in your future. Your relationships go better, your jobs go better, bosses like you better, people want to follow you. This isn't just some concept. This is a literal thing. If we could measure it, we would call it this bar of integrity. And every time you do that, you add to it, and it's permanent. It makes you a better person, period, and they can see it on your skin. Especially people with high integrity. People with really high integrity, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but when I meet other people that are as reliable as I am, I can feel their energy. It makes me want to be around them. And that's the reason why we have this law of attraction in the first place. It's not a woohoo. It's a literal fact that you communicate micro expressions in just your movement that you can't train or fake out. You can only, you can train, you can't fake. You can only train them by actually showing that behavior on a regular basis. So I always like to emphasize that. That's me. I'm doing a paper right now in public speaking about Central State specifically and why our attendance is so low.
Oh yeah,
and what's wrong with it, and what we need to do to change it. And it's akin to the psychology behind. I mentioned to you before. Instead of telling kids you should do it because your grades, they don't respond well to that. That's why they didn't respond to DARE when they said do it because you'll die. Stop smoking because you'll die.
Yeah.
They respond better to knowing that you're letting these fat cats at the top make money for nothing.
Yeah.
They're just scraping in money off your future, and they're putting you into an economic slavery, and you're gaining nothing from it. You're not getting smarter.
Yeah.
You're not gaining any long-term goals, and you're probably likely going to fail your classes, so you have to start over.
True. What do you guys think about Central State's attendance?
Attendance
and participation? Yes.
So I ain't gonna lie, mine was horrible. But after I was trying to do better, but after he said this October we ain't gonna miss no class, I was like, all right, let me keep myself accountable to make sure every time I come to class, even if I'm a little late, still come to class.
Right.
Because
and then keep trying to get here earlier.
Get here earlier.
Every day.
We did it.
If you have to set a timer 20 minutes before and say, I'm gonna start walking there.
I did. So even though I came in maybe I came 5-7 minutes late, I tried to get here on time. Cause I'm like, let me go to breakfast. Not breakfast. Let me go to lunch. That way, I know I don't need to go back to my room. And when I'm in my room, I don't feel like I want to leave.
You know, the quickest way to get yourself really reliable is to deal with the consequences of your unreliability. So if I were to think of it this way, if I were to come to class and I realized I messed up and I didn't get my coffee or something that's really detrimental towards my awareness, I would go hungry. Because what's more important is my integrity. Because I'll tell you right now, what's cool about that is it's not that you'll keep repeating it. After that first time you're going hungry, since you're motivated stronger by hunger, I guarantee you the next time you'll be 20 minutes earlier so you can get that food.
Yeah, you have
a
plan.
Telling on yourself. You got to deal with the consequences. Same with you book yourself with friends. You book 10 different times you can't say no. If you want to get better at it, don't just tell yourself, I got to get better at saying no. Literally, go to every single thing. Never cancel. I don't care how tired you are. Go to every single thing, and I promise you, you'll increase that ability to say no so fast. Next week, when someone says, you want to do something, you'll be like, nah, man, because you'll have all these memories of dude, it was so tiring, I almost got sick last week.
Yeah.
I did everything that I said I was going to do.
Well, and for a while, maybe the pandemic put this thought into our head. All of us thought we could do a remote job in our underwear from home. For a long time, it did.
You wouldn't want to. Trust me.
I don't.
You could. You don't want to. I promise. Everybody, even the most introverted person, does not want to do this. It's torture.
Right.
It's a hell life.
It is. It is. And we're social workers.
Sociopaths by putting them in cuss lodge in your environment.
I know. Yeah.
We torture the most unsocial people.
Yeah.
By putting them in an environment where they can't be
I
social.
feel like my drive is as long as I make it here for Kia or be here for Kia, it's going to be good.
She said, bro.
Because I feel like I've been here more than Kia.
No, well, I miss
I
Never.
October started. Since October started,
no.
I've been here.
Let's talk about from all that.
Let's talk about
Let's
Your mentor should be Jesus too. It
how-
shouldn't be someone else who's just doing a little better. Your mentor should be Jesus. Jesus will be here every time early.
Jesus
Look at all
was
these
here every
scholarships.
time.
He'd be here early. He'd be here a few minutes early to greet people.
I would be here just like Jesus would be here.
Dude.
Beat Kia here before she beat me.
But if you shoot for a skyscraper, right? Where you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like shoot for the star.
Yeah.
Don't shoot for the skyscraper. The skyscraper is nothing compared to the stars.
Very true. So here is Miami Middletown scholarships. They're going to have a Dayton campus very soon.
Really?
Miami has a Dayton campus going up now.
Man, I wonder if people go straight to Miami. Like, man, they go live there, like live in campus. Like, they don't live on the Miami campus, or like Is it just like a sister school?
You can commute. Yeah, it's totally a commute. Here's
But it's not living
Ohio,
there.
Ohio State. What'd you ask? I'm
But
sorry.
it's not living there. Like you can't live on that campus.
Did you want to live there?
I don't know.
Like as a GA, you could be a resident assistant or a RA or a GA or a TA. Oh, here's UC. I didn't know if they make it look like they have a lot of scholarships.
Oh, if you're working
Interesting.
there, you definitely don't want to live. They don't have as good. It's not like they offer living places for people that work there.
Right. They usually, the RAs will get a place in a dorm and then.
Really?
Mm.
Like to work there on staff?
So resident assistants, you know how they do it here too, right? So that's a big way people fund their school. They housing especially. So they become what's called a resident assistant. You live in the dorms. You do have like desk duty, maybe if you smell a bunch of weed because we're federally funded, you have to go tell them to put it out, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they do give you free housing and sometimes meals doing it. Or do you guys know any RAs and what they get for it here?
Oh yeah, they get paid $200 every 2 weeks, and they get the
Housing and food.
covered.
Yes, that's still quite a hit. That's a couple thousand. Then that's like a normal job.
Well, like a solid
That's
3,500.
about minimum wage almost because there's a couple grand.
The housing and food is probably the bulk of the pay.
which is
Yeah.
a lot.
So you don't. So yeah. So you could be an RA anywhere. You can then also be RA as a resident assistant or an RA as a research assistant. TA in grad school as a teaching assistant. And then is there a research assistant? Did I already say that?
I get it.
And is there another? There might be one last one that I'm totally blanking on. So that's how most people fund their way through school. I was a research assistant and I got full tuition and there was a stipend. And so I got my early start on state teachers retirement through OPERS. It's the Ohio pension. And when I retire, I have to combine them too. So I have OPERS and I have STRS. And I'm glad my father-in-law back then said, do not skip putting money into here. I know you want your whole paycheck, but this counts as a whole year.
Talking about your retirement fund?
Yeah. So I started my
I want to
retirement
find a way
as
to reinvest it myself. I found out you can actually take your Fidelity and you can't pull it out, but you can choose where it's invested as opposed to just letting them do it because they're not really giving. I mean, I made like $1,000 in the past 10 years extra from what it was.
correct.
Maybe like it's not.
Well, yeah,
much.
they
It
invested
should be a-
shitty.
Yeah, they invested in the most safest, crappiest way you can imagine.
I agree with that. So
don't
I
know.
did. I mean, going on that, I did put mine into, I had 7 old 401ks from all my social work jobs. And I went to what's called Checkbook IRA. Let's see here. Checkbook IRA. I then created and owned my own 401k.
Yeah, that's what they allow you to pull it over, right? Without it
Mhm.
being, and it's just moving it from one to another, and then you can invest it yourself.
Yes.
literally by choice. I'm gonna
Even
do that too.
farmland and
I'm gonna do that too because
and-
they're doing dumb. I only know a little bit, but I'm sure you've already made more than what they could have made you.
right. Yeah, and that's kind of what I did. And I have the farmland. You could also do like Max. I don't want to invest in like oil, war, and stuff like that.
Gold, though.
So
I know they gave it flack because it's not a huge increase, but it does.
it's
stay
safe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that I'm really. I mean, Bitcoin is really taking off. It's kind of at this point, it's almost a guarantee that it's going to be a thing. It's not. It is a thing, and it's not going anywhere.
So when I got it from it was probably 6 figures, and it has doubled since. So that's
So
like
you can go.
it's-
So you
that's
buy gold bar.
you could, yeah. You can get those and put them into a safety deposit box somewhere. Old U.S. coins, a gold bar. You're talking a lot of money. You know,
you don't want to. Yeah, and nowadays too, you can. It's easy. It's more advantageous. It'd be better for you to just buy into the. They're not like stocks, but they're similar, where they track
the
market.
ETFs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Those are probably better just because you don't have to physically deal with the trading of it. Like,
You
I
could
know it's
also
a little
go
bit-
to
it's a
money-
fees here, but
it's
not
called
much.
moneymetalsexchange.com. Did you know what a $20 bill was in 1933? Have I already told you guys this?
I don't think so.
A $20 bill in 1933. I want one of you to guess because maybe you had the same currency in your country.
What? How much it
I
was
mean, a
worth?
$20 bill.
This was a $20 bill in 1933. Dang it, right here.
Oh, isn't it like 10 grand now or something? Or is it less?
So a $20 bill is an ounce of gold and it is 4,000 something. I
4,000.
think.
Yeah.
So if you had a $40 from 1933 currency, which was this, Well, there you go. That's what happened.
You have 8,000 by now from that one.
Damn.
You would have, yeah, like, what's that, a 400% increase or 200?
I guess that's what it is. So that is,
100%
yeah,
increase
this is, it was called a double eagle or, that was the currency. So an ounce of gold always bought you a fine suit. So back then $20 would buy you a fine suit. Clearly $4,000 would buy you a pretty nice suit nowadays.
Yeah.
So there it is. Yeah. That's a $20 US Liberty. I guess I missed it by $50. It's $3,942. So if your grandparents had, when the government took all the gold in 1933, that was part of the Great Depression. They demanded all the gold back and they gave you a piece of paper in exchange. They're like, all right, cool, here's your $20. And then when they got it all, they revalued it overnight and said, by the way, gold's now worth 30 an ounce.
Yeah.
They didn't do silver until 1971.
Kind of stuck it everybody a little bit there.
They did. So August 15th, 1971, they took away these coins, were the silver dollar until 60. Really, it was silver half dollars until 64. And then they did, that was 90%. Then they did silver half dollars that were 40% until 69. And then France came with ships in 1971 to get all of their gold. I think they had US paper dollars and said, cool, yeah, well, this certificate says can be exchanged for gold, and Nixon took us off the gold standard. It was August 15th, 1971.
Arguably, they think is the dumbest thing that he's done.
And in Vietnam War, we were able to print money for Vietnam War. So we funded several wars. We funded, really, the gold standard was for, like, after World War I, they realized they could fund World War II that way. I know it wasn't in the making.
What a dumb idea. Let's take this off and just start making up the numbers as if that's gonna, like, let's just take it away from all economic, like, actual growth of some kind of equilibrium, some bar that helps us remain honest
Right.
as well as know when we're actually growing.
Right, honest money.
It's so, it's just
So do you-
surprisingly, it still survived too.
Yeah.
It still increases about the same rate as inflation. It's like 2%.
It really does. Have you guys?
2% a year and it increases 2% a year in inflation.
It does, and maybe you've seen these in a roll of coins. If you find any from the 60s, they have silver in them. So up until 64, it was 90% silver, and up until 69, it was 40% silver, like 65 to 69 as they lowered the amount. You could go to a bank, hand them a $10 bill, ask for a roll of 20 halves, and I found a lot in 2010s, but I don't know if they have as many as they used to, as people are kind of.
I had a box full of them when I was a kid. Like literally.
Oh, actual
like
silver ones.
$300 of old ones, but I used them all.
Right.
I
Well,
just used them for candy and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
They gave me a box of them. You should have put them in a locker.
right. Well, and they may or may not have been. Maybe he was going through them to find the silver and gave
It's
you.
possible. Yeah.
That would be what I would think. Is most people were doing that then. I don't see where
Yeah,
have
you're
you.
probably right. My dad's like that.
Right. That's what I would
Something
think.
like that.
He would know. They don't show the 40% on here, which is strange. But so getting into that, I always do that speech first about how there is printed money, and believe it or not, social work now knows how to tap into printed money because our programs take printed money, Medicare and Medicaid, like we
It's
bill
sort of fueling that reversion. and making it
in a
worse.
way. So we fuel inflation, but I also agree with if there is printed money out there, you better find a way to tap into it or
Oh, for
you're
sure.
broke.
Yeah, it's like
So-
I guess then you'd have to say if it's similar to the plastic bag idea or rule where it's like if the more we grab, the more likely we are to print more. If that's
Right.
not the case, then there is no effect that social work has except for taking the money that is printed.
Yeah. And I know you want to get your license. How many other people want to get your social work license in here?
Yeah, I'd say everybody should.
And you want to pass the test senior year, last semester, or you want to wait till you graduate? You qualify your last semester of your senior year. The last person we had from the Bahamas went straight into the master's. You still can get your license and then do the master's and get a good placement.
I could take the test, but like I'll graduate next year.
Correct.
Yeah, you wouldn't do
But
it.
you're preparing by now. Right now, you want to
Oh, I
start
can
preparing.
prepare by now and take it next year.
Pretty much in a year and 2 months, you can take
Are
it.
you in spring, 27?
Yeah.
27?
Yeah.
So you got the
1 year and 2
right, I mean.
months.
Yeah.
So I forgot because we're graduating the exact same time. We'll be at the same graduation.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we wouldn't do it till spring. 2027. We wouldn't actually start to take the test then.
Okay.
But you only got about a year and a week, so I'd start practicing now for sure.
And so
So what's the test? 75 questions. How many questions is it?
it usually is
Like
150 questions,
wow,
if
it's
I
more than the
remember.
nursing exam.
Yeah,
That's
Because
wild.
they have-
it's like standardized testing, isn't it?
No, this is a specific test for social work.
But it's like in a format of standardized testing.
But it's usually a computer nowadays, right? That if you get,
it is.
do they make you
Correct.
take all 150? You don't know, or do you? If you get so many right, does it stop? And just let it
So they do 50 practice questions, then I'll tell you which one's a practice question.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy right there. No.
That's how they do
They're
it.
playing with your
pass?
emotions.
So if you get 100, so I mean, you can get so many in a row right, and it'll just stop. Does it make you keep going to 150, or no? Will it make you do all 150 no matter what?
I do believe you have to do all 150. So
Yeah,
here's
the
one.
exams
I
like
think
that.
I shared this with you guys. This is 600 slides of social work practice test questions. They do change a little bit, but honestly, a lot of the theories are the same. I also had one that explained social work testing in general. History of public social welfare. Interesting. But of course, if I try, I won't find it. But the essence of it is that you take the test, you qualify your last year doing these practice exams. I sent this to all of you on announcements. You could download it and keep it. This was a student at NKU that made this, and I asked him if it was okay if I shared it. He's like, yeah, this is how I'm practicing. So he would go through, there's his answer, then he'd go to the next one, and then there's his answer, then go to the next one. And I guess it's 300 questions he has here.
Really?
So, yeah.
So you can just take this over and over until you get a good score. And
Yeah, until you memorize it. I know it's a PowerPoint, so it's weird, but this is in announcements. You can download it and practice 300 questions.
On our board.
Yes.
And 150 of those go be on the test.
Well, 150 similar ones are different. They always
Right.
rotate them out. They're not going to be
Right.
the same ones.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they're designed. The whole point of a tester is to make sure that we don't know what they are. So they're going to have the same. If you learn it, you'll still understand the field enough to use it, but it'll be completely different questions, worded differently.
Let me see and make
They're pretty
sure
good at that,
it's
actually.
on your board.
They do a good job at changing just enough for you to be thrown by it a little bit.
They do, yeah, and
They're
they
pretty
do
good at
that.
it nowadays. Well, now it's probably
purposefully.
computers that do it, to be honest.
If I don't have it in here, I will share it again. I swore that I had given it to you guys. Just because I was impressed the kid took the time to make that up. I'm like, dude, can I share that with other students? He's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, sweet. That's
That's how
pretty
you take
nice.
advantage of the students.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, why not?
I want everyone to pass the test. Like we had a 10% passage rate for the longest time while Dr. Allen and Ebony and all of them were here, and they're great teachers. They just didn't emphasize practicing for the test. And I think that it's important
Well, they're
to.
saying before, when it was crap, it was 10%. I was gonna say that's not something you're proud of.
No,
That just
no,
sounds bad.
it was,
Oh,
it was
that's terrible.
so bad
Yeah.
that we started a practice session with Dr. Nikita Jackson Haslag. I told her she should make it a summer class if she
She
wanted
is.
to.
She's doing that.
Okay.
She's
That-
doing that.
That's what
She
she
offered it.
told me.
She offered it to me last time I had a class for the last semester.
So,
She said in summer she does it a month or something, which you're more than that even, but she does it in. She said she recommended that you do it. You can either wait, like if you're going to graduate then she said maybe even take it the summer before, even if you have a semester in between.
yes,
Take the course, study it, and then do the practice tests until that semester's over. And then
yes.
first thing that your last semester, take the test.
Okay.
That's what she was telling me.
And I told her if she was to do it properly, she should make it a class that people could have the Pell Grant pay for. And then that way she gets at least reimbursed for her time. You know what I mean? I was like, make it a class. And she's like, oh, maybe. So,
Yeah,
I
why the
hope-
heck not?
yeah. And I mean, obviously there will
Well,
be
is she
a
going to do it for
demand.
free otherwise?
Well, she has been.
I see.
And that's great. It's cool for tenure, but at some point, just make it a class. Like it's, yeah,
Might as
And then
well, especially if it counts as credit anyway, it's like who gives a crap?
right.
It should be a credit. I mean, if anything, I It should be a full-on 3 credit course. You take it in the summer if it's a summer class.
This is another one. This is more for the MSW, but this is like review of every single class, HBSE, then biological development, and then the theories.
And that's the one where you gotta have a language. What's the MS?
Master of Social Work. You're thinking
No, you're talking about master's. Never mind.
Bachelor of
BLS.
Arts does require
What
a
other-
language if you want it, correct.
Is it the BLS versus the?
BASW instead of a BSSW, I guess.
Yeah.
Bachelor of Science in Social Work or a Bachelor of Arts in Social Work. See, I just had this SW test.
So the arts is about language. In that type
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that changes. You just if I take Spanish, if all of a sudden it turns into that.
Correct. If
Interesting.
you took, there's a couple that are on here. Okay, now you guys should have these practice tests. And did I give you the actual licensure exam that we had another practice test for we created for the MSW students?
I don't remember.
If not, I can, because that's very helpful too. If you're all getting your license, there's no harm in checking these out.
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna do it.
It's I did this for the LSAT also. So that was a big practice exam I would take over and over and over and over, and it paid dividends because the practice just you eventually memorize it. So it used to be a whole lot easier to find this stuff. But after we made the dreams and goals and desires Thursday, and I know you guys are in here for getting a social work degree, it helps to get your license and you can practice in a lot of areas.
Yeah, why not?
And there's a lot of places that are hiring. Okay, I'll give you these for now. Oh, I forgot. I always have to look in the Dropbox for groups.
I'm officially doing classes now with the kids at church, so it's funny how similar it is to groups. I'm learning their like educations for each week. Yeah. They had someone drop out as an educator, and I've only been there like 3 times, and they were just like, "Hey, you'll do it, right?" And I was like, "Sure." So now I got it. Now
Is it a volunteer position?
Yeah, but they have a full curriculum. They have videos to like.
That's nice.
In between, but it's like a full each day. Like the time they come in, there's like a whole like 3 activities and how to start it and all this stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you at least get.
And now every level of group now, it's like I got kids 3rd through 5th grade. I do my groups at work, which is adults all of like their 70s, and I'm practicing with you on my honors project's going to be. I looked it up, and I looked up how to actually submit it to the. It's not the board for clinical use; it's for the communal one. What's it called? Peer support group using art as coping skills. So it's a community-based group, and apparently there's I have to go to the Mental Health of America to get that certified.
Oh, really?
State
Okay.
Peer support network. So you can get it. So as opposed to, if I wanted to be licensed with an actual therapist, you have to go through American Art Therapy Association.
Okay.
And that's state license board. But this one is just, I guess I didn't know that. There's a Mental Health of America at, MHA,
That's awesome.
which I can get it certified. So my honors project is going to be, I'm going to put something together with art therapy, and we'll see how far along because I'm still assessing how much work it's going to take.
Mhm.
I'm going to do as much as I can at the very least, and I'm hoping that no matter what, whatever I submit you, I'm sure it'll be adequate for a class
Mhm.
honors project.
Yeah.
And then if it's not completed fully, then I'll make the rest of it depending on how much work. I'll try to divvy it out to have another project that combines the two.
Yeah, I
And
feel
submit
like you
again for
both
the
are
class.
doing honors projects. Is that true? And then,
So I'm going to use it as, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to use it as a way to make a group, just because I want to anyways, submit a group.
so one other group we did have is the grief group. And This was, it's used in hospice, and it's called the grief recovery method. So it kind of follows the, I forget that this doesn't open that way. And the grief recovery method does kind of follow the 12-step methodology for recovery. I probably can open it with this. So, we do this at hospice. They do it at a lot of churches for free. You can also get certified in this. This is like the leader's guide, so it shows you how to kind of run it, and I can share this with you guys also. Because you do, I think you pay $3,000 for this certification also. So this is also several weeks. They have at least 8 to 10. And then week 1 is like opening, poster, commitments. The homework is, well, they have you read a lot, but make notes on myths and misinformation, the stages of grief. And then week 2, more on you do a trauma timeline. So that's like to recover from our grief and trauma, like they have you do a trauma timeline. And
Is that where you're like hoping to reach markers so you know when you've grown? And
yeah, you write them out. I'm not fully trained in this, so I'd be cheating to say that I was. I took this from a supervisee that was in charge of this, and I asked her to share this with me. So I'm kind of a hoarder of group information. And
I'm just curious to know what the timeline refers to, because that can mean a lot of things, right? The timeline for the counselor, timeline for the patient, timeline for the trauma itself.
Usually for the patient and the trauma itself, but then it's a whole year or lifetime of their traumas. Any trauma
So
from their...
the timeline refers to documentation, the history, their historian kind of side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Out there, I see.
And then let me see if I can find where it is. I'm going to share this with you guys. So it's for educational purposes only, because I think they pay thousands of dollars to get these books.
So you basically, you become a social worker, and you either, let's say you're in your own private business, you would have to pay for all these, get certified so you can do these groups in your private practice, or you work for a company and then
They pay
either
for it.
request or which is what because once you're certified, you're certified. Even
Correct.
as an individual, right?
Yeah.
You can basically work for a company for a couple of years, get certified for a bunch of stuff, and then leave and be your own private practice.
You could, yes. Now, I think they've gotten hip to that, and like I'm trauma certified level 1 trauma practitioner, and I do think they have renewals. So I think they are hip to like, well, it expires after 2 years.
A bunch of bullshit.
I know, right?
Unless they better update it. If they don't update it every 2 years, in their
Correct. I'm
they
with
don't update it,
you.
they're complete crooks. Because it's like, if anything, I should teach you now. I've been doing it for 2 years. I can tell you how to make it better. You're
Right?
making me pay for it
Yeah.
again.
I totally agree with that.
You know how that
too.
works, right? Once you learn,
Yeah.
you not only, unless you're an idiot,
If you're teaching it,
you take your own. You actually understand how to do it better with
You
who
do.
you're working with. So if anything, you're like, you should be telling me, you should be paying me now.
Correct.
To
Yes.
give you information to update it.
Because I am trauma certified. I do have that plaque in my office. I should see if there's an expiration on it, like our license expires every 2 years.
I guess
So
the only
there's-
reason the expiration makes sense without it being criminal and crooked is if they're because there's actually a reason for this too, if they're actually updating. And
Yeah,
the reason why
right.
I think doctors should have more of that. They let doctors off too easy. Because doctors, after like 40 years, I mean, some of the stuff that doctors have learned is so irrelevant. It's not even a little bit different. It's like literally they're doing the opposite in some cases.
Right.
So you need to get re-educated.
Yes. Yeah. So our horticulture therapy group, we had to kind of show what we were going to do for the hort therapy group. We also, somebody asked me about Great Minds. Did you ever receive Great Mind funding? I would think you would be
No, I couldn't get. Remember,
too young for it, so to speak.
Isn't that the one that what's
You
Great
had to
Mind
be a
for?
senior for.
That's the one you had to be a senior for.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a senior till next year. So I
Maybe
couldn't
a junior or.
get that either. I was sophomore then.
And so here, somebody asked me about it recently. So it was 10 grand, Department of Ohio Medicaid. It was printed money again. So Ohio got the approval for centers from Medicare and Medicaid to fund them their last 2 years. God, they got $85 million. So we got $300,000 here. You had to be at home and community-based services. 45 million went to Department of Higher Ed. 22 million went to employment recruitment and retention at community behavioral health centers, because people were asking me what they have to do for follow-up. And then the project period ended this March, so that was it. And then students who are within 2 years of graduating with their degrees. So you were close. You like literally on March 30th, you probably were within 2 years of graduating, but we had given away all the money at that time.
Yeah.
And then there's 10 grand, use of the funds, how you track it. Federal grants are mostly all about how do you track it. So that was another one that we had. You guys have the grief recovery method. And then I know we were finishing closing a group recently, but I have groups for older adults. You're doing, it sounds like, groups for adolescents right now. So that one's right here. Chapter 10 is groups for adolescents. I can get into that. We were finishing the final stage of a group last week. So
yeah, that's what I wanted that info.
I do like this. It says, when you guys are finishing your group, and all of you will lead a group at your internship. I know it sounds crazy, but you will all be asked to lead a group, just because in counseling specifically, you actually have to have so many hours of group counseling. So yeah, social work doesn't have as much.
To group stuff. So being a social worker by definition is you being in that role.
Right. Yeah.
It's literally the role you're supposed to be in.
But I know some people are always, when you're a new social worker, if you are younger, sometimes you're like, well, I don't have the experience. I don't want to talk to adults.
There's no time in the present to make
Right.
that start happening.
I know,
It's like
right.
you did right now, crash course, guys.
Yes.
That's how it works.
But I like this here. It says offer private consultations if any member needs this. And at agencies, we just do one-on-one clinical therapy, BHCT, behavioral health therapy. CPST is more case management. I mean, you could offer both too. Also provide follow-up sessions, identify referral sources if they need further assistance. Like I had a guy last night, he really wanted more stuff and his EAP expired. And I said, he probably qualified for Medicaid. Like if you make under, I think it's what, 10 grand? 16?
1650 a month. Under 1650 a month, you qualify for Medicaid.
Okay. And then you still could buy into it. So you could get it. They just charge you like it's an insurance plan if you wanted it.
Which isn't that, it's not that expensive, but it's too expensive in my opinion for what they offer.
Right. And most men don't need insurance, like until you're whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
Most men don't use insurance.
If it wasn't for school, I wouldn't, because they removed the law. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You no longer have to legally, but the schools
Right.
still abide by the old.
So do
have
you
to.
buy it from the school?
I have no choice. I had to get it. I'm getting my new insurance. I just now got put back on my insurance. I only had no insurance for a week and a half, and it was during the time that they demanded that I have proof of it. So now I'm paying for 4 months of insurance. They took $850 from me that I'm not even going to use.
And it's Central
And I
States.
can't even come in and say, hey, can you kick me out of this? Because I don't want to be like, no, this is you got it. No.
Who is their insurance through?
It's pretty good. I can't remember who.
Can you get a bunch of shit done in the next 4 months?
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna go
mean,
all kinds of shit. Okay, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I did was like, I'm gonna go get a physical. I'm gonna go
Yep.
get I'm gonna get a cleaning, any kind of dental work that I do while I'm done, because I have 2 for both.
You reminded me of the physical.
Get some blood work done if they have it. I'm gonna push for blood work. So I haven't had it my entire life, and everything. So I'm gonna get it all done if I can. Get this checked for skin cancer. This little thing on my face. It might be just a mole. My family gets moles on their face
Yeah.
as they get older.
Yep.
But I've had one that grew over the last like 10 years slowly. This like little discoloration in my skin. So I'm gonna get.
You reminded me, if we don't do it, our price goes up 20%. We have to get a physical. So I'm gonna send Sarah Perdomo that
Oh
it's-
yeah.
So last slide, summary of ending stages, dealing with feelings about separation. This is with any client. I had a client that he admittedly did 0 homework ever, severely ADHD. He works long enough to get the EAP, which is what he came under. The first 5 sessions, I was able to renew him for 5 more. He was going to go back to get the associates in school somewhere. He's smart enough. He was maybe my age, a little older than me. And I didn't know they still offered these, but just loved doing phone sex every single night. And, like, literally had phone sex, and like you can do the dial-in ones. I guess there are video ones, but he did the cheaper one. He had a second
phone.
Yeah. So, and you could like pick the person you wanted to talk to. And he would stay up till 6 a.m. and then work 3 or 4 days a week, and usually from like 5 until 10. And his big thing, July he started, he just finished, was to get a normal bedtime, to clean up. I guess he never picked up after himself ever.
Well, how could you? You're on the phone all night. It's funny how that's become. I remember that time that our society shifted to
video and
that.
whatnot.
Well, no, just nothing wrong with this kind of where we were openly and like talking about it as if like there's people coming in. Oh yeah, that's just something I like to do. It's like,
right.
You realize that it's like a perversion that's really bad for your brain.
Right.
Like that shows that there's something wrong.
Right. Yeah. And maybe I should have gone harder at him, but he's like, I think maybe I need somebody who had a different approach, because I gave more of the empathy, like, yeah, that kind of.
No, someone needed to say, hey man, well, first of all, the first thing is just like with addiction and alcoholism, you don't say, oh, it's not that bad that I drink all the time to the point where my liver kind of hurts. I need to find a way to make my liver deal with it better. It's just like, what are you talking about?
I kind of had somebody who came in last night doing just that. And so I gave him
being blunt about it,
a copy of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Oh, I see.
I said,
was he approaching it too in the sense of like, I was it like, could you get the sense where it was like, I want something to fix it besides stopping it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. That's how they
it's
always come in.
You want to be like, dude, okay, let's get an analogy here. It's like, you get up every morning and you walk out your front door, and right before you open your door, you accidentally stab yourself in the arm with a rubber band. And you think, I gotta find a way to heal my arm quicker. Is there a cream I can use? It's like, well, how about you stop stabbing yourself in the arm before you go out the door?
He wanted to drink controllably. So I did on the first session. I have lots of empathy, and I don't want to be a co-signer of their bullshit. So I don't take the hard line, and I do describe like, well, I had the problem also where once I started, I couldn't stop. So I actually had to do complete abstinence. So that was my experience with it. I don't do that anymore. Some people are able to go back to, he's like, well, I quit the hard stuff, but it sounds like the way he described it, it was legit. So I'm like, well, would you be open to a copy of Alcoholics Anonymous? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Because I didn't know if he had already been. He never had a DUI, never had any legal troubles.
Sometimes I notice with that is they're tracking of the timeline. Right? I've had so many people come up and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to do this anymore. And as long as I'm doing this, it's fine. And then when you have them map out the last 5 years, you notice that they've actually, every time they do the thing that's fine, they always end up back in the thing that's not fine.
Right.
And they're imagining this thing of like, oh, this new bump, this is a new thing. And they're like, no, you don't understand. Come out of the pattern bigger. You'll realize, oh my gosh, I do this over and over again. Mm-hmm. So the answer isn't doing this. It's actually stopping. I have to get out of this pattern, period.
And he had been married twice in another new relationship. The last relationship, she had borderline. So sometimes you attract that in. Like if you're alcoholic narcissist, you're going to attract borderline personality disorder.
I mean, well, they're the only ones going to be able to tolerate you.
True, right. But then they have all their problems too.
So it's like a symbiotic thing.Ey're both co-helping each other. What is that, trauma bonding? There's another.
Yeah, they do.
It's kind of a trauma bond.
Yes.
I had a friend of mine who used to say, I'm going to keep drinking moderately. And it was like in light of the fact that like, it was like almost like he didn't consider the fact that he's been in the hospital like 4 times in the past 10 years for alcohol poisoning. And yet he was like, oh, no, those are only attributed. The issue was because that time I got out of control. And it's like he didn't understand that was part of the same pattern of his excuse for moderate drinking at all. Mm-hmm. It was like he saw them as separate things. It was like he thought, oh no, when I'm moderately drinking, everything's okay. My whole life is fine. It's only when I get in those big things, like, no, you don't understand. That's the part of the same snake. Like they're connected. The moderate drinking continuously, because moderate is every night, right? I don't consider that moderate, but that's what his moderate was. Mm-hmm. It's just not too much each night. And then he would blame it on these moments as if they're separate occasions. It's like they're so oh no, it's because I spent 3 weeks drinking heavily, And that's why
Right.
you get the alcohol poisoning. Well, no, you got the alcohol poisoning because you drink all the time. It just so happens those 3 weeks got you to the point where you almost died.
Yes.
It's like they put light on the moderate as if it's not a big deal, but like that's the toxic. The other thing is a miracle you live, right? It's like a miracle you live versus the horrible toxin, as opposed to the way he's thinking of it, which is like, oh, I was doing fine and I'm really healthy except for those toxic moments. It's like, I know it's vague the way I described it, but it matters. It's like an excuse, an approach to like allow yourself to just keep making that same mistake and not just looking in the mirror and being like, hey man, the reality is that I am so addicted, I can't even admit that any of it's a problem. Right? I have to pretend that some of it's okay. It's like, ooh, that's an addiction right there. The only thing that's okay is what we know. You physically aren't supposed to be drinking a bunch of alcohol. It's always bad for you. Even a little bit destroys your body.
It does. And so I was soft at first. He has an EAP with 10 sessions. He would get a renewal on New Year's Eve. So we'll see if he comes back.
I'll give him energy. I hope he does good.
Yeah, he makes a good lot of money, so it's easy to keep doing the same thing.
Well, that's when you need to find a new purpose. Obviously, if you're making a bunch of money, and that's the Tower of Babel, really, like in a different sense, not in the way of communication, but like when you build yourself up that high from something and you're still unhappy, so miserable that you're drinking yourself to death, it's time to climb down the tower and let it fall.
Right. Yeah.
Go somewhere else in the desert to start over.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a challenge that could come up, and
What's the point, right?
yeah.
If you're killing yourself anyways.
Right. So I know
I hope he does good. I'm sending good energy.
it's definitely crazy.
Alcohols are rough. Oh my gosh.
It is, and it's more
addiction.
profound in our
Horrifying.
society because we have all of our basic needs met very easily. Like you
Yep.
can go on assistance and have housing and food and all that, and then find ways to get the alcohol somehow.
So
And
cheap too.
in other
Cheaper, more
countries-
for you even.
yeah, it's just like
No, there's definitely a reason that complacency and stuff comes out of this stagnation, and that makes us more likely and more susceptible towards temptations like that. Especially also since it's cued to our DNA. I mean, it's the only substance out of all of them that is so ingrained in our history that we actually have receptors for it. That there's like it's like part of our body. When we do it too much, it's not, that's why tea is the only thing that can kill you. No other drug can kill you from going off of it, but alcohol.
yes, alcohol is the only one.
Only one.
So the last few on this one is prepare to generalize learning to everyday life with the group, and decide on changes they want to make and how to plan to make them. Complete unfinished business, either issues brought into the group or issues that pertain to people. Some people seek counseling after a group too, and then evaluate the impact of the group. Sometimes they do a whole PowerPoint on evaluation because they do want to find ways you can make it better and serve people better.
Yeah, we should do that more often in life.
Yeah.
Programs of all kinds.
Well, and I was telling the guy last night, I'm not going to take it personal that we did not click. I said, we have other counselors here. Like, not everybody's going to click with everybody, and that's okay.
No, that's what everything's about, right? You can only go so far.
Yeah. And he's open to seeing somebody. I said, if you get Medicaid, you could see somebody by next month. Now, if you don't, you're going to have to wait for your EAP to reset on New Year's Eve. It'll be 2 months till you see somebody. So your choice. And that's what I did every time, but he never would get on the normal sleep cycle. This was for 2, 3, 4 months in a row. Never got an extra job, never went on Medicare or Medicaid, never applied to the schools. And it would be on the to-do list every single time we finished up. I'm like, if you want to do it in session, we can do it with
Right
you.
now.
Like, I'm a case
Yeah.
manager. And he's like, yeah, well, I'll do it. And I even would text him. Like, one time I texted him, like, FAFSA.gov and nothing.
Interesting, man. That's the inner destructive part
It was
of us, right?
all blamed on ADHD. And I'm like, yeah,
Well,
ADHD is
can be an
bad, but
excuse, right?
you can really work with ADHD to drive your ass. Like,
That was the
through-
whole for Spectrum. The idea of Spectrum wasn't to give excuse. It was to let them know, well, hey, guess what? Always have something of that.
for sure.
You never
For
want
sure.
it, but we don't use it as an excuse to do nothing.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Like ADHD is probably one of the most human conditions, right? It's not even ADHD.
Especially nowadays.
It's ADHD at its core. All it is hey, it's hard to hold our attention. Yeah, I know. be attentive to something takes energy.
Yes.
We want to save that energy and use it towards other things, right?
Yes.
Duh.
Yeah. Yep.
Got to force it. You just got to do it, then it gets easier.
What days did you two pick to lead your groups?
Ooh, I think mine this week, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you better get on that. You better get on that, bro.
Because we do have a speaker coming Thursday. If it was, you can do it Tuesday. So you have a whole
I'm
week.
not good too. Because my head's on Thursday.
I don't know if it is because I thought we figured it out. Unless you said it later, we figured out not to do it on that day.
Right.
during class.
He still might have signed up. He doesn't listen.
Oh, okay.
I do listen. Don't do that.
We've talked. This is the third or fourth time we've talked about that speaker's coming on Thursday, so we're not going to do it.
Right. It's fine.
You were here
And
for
then-
two of them.
And then
So
what
he's not
day
wrong.
are you going to lead before or after each other?
I'll go before him.
Oh, damn. She's stepping it up, dude. You want to go on the same day?
Yeah, we can go on the same day.
You don't
have
have
time.
to.
If you just get to it, it's not long like mine.
Right.
You guys do it.
It's-
Mine was at least 90 minutes altogether. Could have been.
It's it also can combine to become the starter kit for your final paper.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah,
if
I would recommend if you want to do more work.
right, you said you don't recommend.
No, I
it.
do. If you
You
don't
do
want to do
recommend.
more work,
Right,
like, yeah, you might as
yeah.
well build on the whole.
Like if
class.
you let a group and then the final paper is about creation of a group. And yes, it is 10, 12 pages, but find funding sources, find ways to make it a real life project that whatever agency you're working for, create a group for that agency to a funder that has $100,000 and share it with your freaking boss so they love it. That's what
That's why I'm doing too. I'm basically doing your whole class for the one I did the purpose group, and I'm gonna
Okay.
do that same thing again for the music art
Okay.
expression, and that'll be my honors project. It's basically the entire course twice.
And then, so like, I know I always go to grants.gov. It might not be as good as it used to be, but some way to find funding, just because you could be like, hey, boss, I found this source for money. And
That's the
found
place I mentioned, the American
Okay.
something. If you submit it to them, now that I won't be able to do that. I'll be able to give you I'll be able to give you the idea. It's almost like the philosophy or the thesis, like
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna map it all out, but it takes months to get that actually go through the thing. So what I'm gonna do is get it all set up, put those both in, and then maybe even matter of fact, maybe you'll accept because I think I have another class with you. Even if it's not you, Nikita will accept it, I'm sure. When I do get it approved, I'm gonna submit that again as another honors project. So let me, if you
Yeah.
do, you know what I mean? 'Cause I feel like that could be a good
I like to
project.
build on shit. I mean, that's
That's
how I
what I'm
did my
saying.
dissertation.
Why not?
Keep doing like
Why not?
whatever your specialty area is and just kind of like keep building on it until you
And
have.
then you have an entire portfolio of something
Uh-huh.
you created as you graduate, which is amazing.
And don't plagiarize yourself. I would always have people emphasize this big
Scrutinize the
time.
crap out of it.
Right. But so, like, if-
Say, tell me if it's plagiarized.
This is the classic search on grants.gov. So if you did mental health group, these have come up. They posted them in the past year or two. So like assessment evaluation of emerging health conditions relevant to World Trade Center health program, that might not be relevant, but also I'm trying to find one that is more drug device discovery development groups, advanced. So you see all the opportunities. Mental health, let's do even like social work, even counseling. See if that does something to it, because that could narrow it down or just make it worse. Advanced laboratories for accelerating the reach and impact of treatments for youth and adults with mental illness.
Yeah.
And they always make a weird acronym. Research centers, or you could have social psychology. Interesting. I didn't know that they funded just social psychology. Or emerging older adult resource center. That would be cool to develop, to make like horticulture therapy and like place to have like bingo. Have the basket be $100,000 win. I'm just kidding. You ever see the churches where like that's their main fundraiser is bingo, and it's like it is tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, people be giving money, man.
I didn't know that. I'm
Maybe
like,
it makes
well, yeah,
sense.
bingo makes most of our money for the.
Yeah, it makes sense. People love that bingo.
Okay.
Especially the older people with like expendable income that are like into retirement anyway. They're like, whatever, I'll spend 10 grand.
This is why. So addiction recovery. This is where we got 500 million in Ohio in the past few years, and then there's a lot of funding still for that. And then when you say click on them, this one would be Award ceiling is $275,000. They don't really have a floor. They show you how to like submit like what related documents you have, the full announcement, and then anyway, it just in a way I want you guys to have some exposure to what grants look like and to get money, find the printed money, get it into your agency so you can be paid for what you are doing for life. It sounds like my church at St. Leo's, we just got 4 grants for adolescent youth, another for older adult women's group, and then a third one I can't remember, but I think it was bilingual counselor for adolescents. So she got 10 grand, 15 grand, and 10 grand. So sometimes you just have micro grants that still, if you're a church with $0, it helps to get 10 grand infused to run a mental health group. And then I know we're at 9 minutes left, but I promised something about adolescents. So if you did organize an adolescent group, I'd love to see all your materials if you have those for the group. If you're willing to share, I will.
You talking about the kids club?
Yeah.
It's more of a, and it still will have the same structure because it's geared
Okay.
towards religion, right? So it's
Okay.
it's about Christ and stuff, but it is. Yeah, I can share that for sure. Easy.
I love.
It's cool. It's got 3 activities and a way of opening, how to start it. And then
Oh,
there's
dude,
videos
I'd love
associated.
that. I
Yeah,
would
it's
love
a full,
that.
like we get one every week. We get a whole new one every week.
Sweet.
Pages long.
If you're willing to share, I'm willing to receive, and then
Yeah, they wouldn't carry them if I did.
max out my unlimited Google hard drive that I have through the United Resource Connection.
Nice.
So with adolescents, we often do like a needs assessment. You might develop a written proposal of what they're going to do, or it could be how you're getting money to run the adolescent group, or the proposal of what they'll do. Okay, it says then market your group. So you're going to write a proposal of how you're going to serve adolescents, market the group. I don't know if you guys have to market it or not. Like maybe you advertise at the church, like come on Sunday at 3 and we have this group.
Well, we already trying to keep up on the load.
Because the kids come,
the kids
so
come,
the parents can pay attention.
so they can go to church.
That's what we
There's
need too.
2 different rooms. There's
Yes.
a room here for them, and then they
Okay.
bring it in so the kids don't have to sit in that room with us for the hour and a half. And
Do you, not that you
church.
have to with the church one, but sometimes you get informed consent from parents or guardians, conduct. pre-group.
technically, you go in and you have to check in. So that's the
There it is.
It's
It's all digital now, so they just
you
like
gotta
click,
check
click,
in.
click.
They give you a number. They give it with the kid because you even have to compare the numbers when the parent picks up, even if you know the parent, just to be sure.
Yep. So then you would select members for the group, design a plan for each group session, which it sounds like you're getting every week, which is cool.
Yep.
Arrange a follow-up group session after termination. Explain the rationale for the group in jargon-free language. So this is just very generic if you're running a kids group, really adolescent. So working with reluctant adolescents. And in our trauma group, if they didn't want to be there, we did not take them there, as they could ruin the group for every kid. So I don't know how you guys deal with behaviors or if you have disruptions.
And you just counsel them like you would on the spot.
Yeah.
By the way, you're gonna listen here. It's not hard in that setting.
Right.
It's pretty. I mean, there are some unruly kids, but they're not. These are kids coming to church. That most of those kids are pretty well behaved. They get a little bit. They have this game where they do that. That thing you spin in the top. When the top goes into it, they get a little bit aggressive during that, and I have to be like, "Hey, remember we're friends here," and that's that kind of thing. Just calm them down a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. So be clear and firm with your boundaries. Go with resistance. Don't go against the resistance. Because usually if you do a power struggle right out of the gate, they're going to push back more. So that's why it does say go with resistance. This one, oh God, this is only 4 slides. What the hell? So this is the last slide. Key points for adolescent groups: understand and respect the resistance. Role-playing techniques can be creatively used in adolescent groups. Involve the parents in group work if you can with adolescents, and then the adolescents may focus on many different issues ranging from drug rehabilitation to teenage pregnancy. Co-leadership models are also very useful with adolescents. So we'll do the adults one next time because I know we're right at the end. Any questions on literally anything?
Now you can see. I think I said you should get it in your email.
Did any of you get the advertisement for Michigan came yesterday to talk to all of us.
What, on our email or
Yes,
something?
when I was late,
Okay.
they only got one half of a sandwich from Panera.
I can't believe you snuck a meat sandwich out of them. My wife is pissed about the no meat. I brought one home.
What we doing with like respect to people that don't eat meat? Well, where the fucking meat?
That's
I
what she
didn't
said,
come
dude.
here.
So I brought her, like, I ate half mine and brought home. She's like, I want this shit. It don't got meat. And I'm like,
I know meat.
So I
meat.
said, that's
What's the
great.
deal with this? So I'm lost. What's happening?
so Michigan fed everybody to recruit to their schools yesterday.
Vegetarian, though?
I'm a vegetarian.
I know you are, but that Michigan was only?
In Michigan, all the leftover sandwiches were veggie, which was great for me, and it pissed him off.
Oh, the leftovers. So they did have meat ones. They just
They had
yeah.
meat, but like they all went first, and he showed up at about the time he always does. We're talking shit now.
You know what's hilarious? It's kind of a metaphor for the you know,
For life?
Well, right now, especially, it's
For a
like,
job.
it's the meat. That's why meat's so expensive right now, is because they convinced people that this is the worst thing. But the truth is, we still all more want meat on average than anybody else, right?
Everybody
Over
does.
80% of us wants meat.
Yeah.
Now that there's less than 40% of the meat they used to make.
Oh, is there really?
I mean, I'm
40%
just making up numbers, but
Right. That sucks.
it's went up 60% since just 10
Well, I
years ago.
see it on. We budgeted 1,000 for the 6 of us, and she spent 1,600 last month. And I was like, dude, I'm still a social worker. Like, I work 3 jobs, but I am not able to keep up this rate of spending.
I'm a